did you just hit every session too hard? That's not the goal of it, particularly in week 1 of a training phase, which we're in now. It's incrementally building week on week.
Timing of all of these things doesn't matter too much. Yo, what's happening, team? Happy Tuesday morning. Welcome back to the vlog. It is 5 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. I have had a very good sleep. My wife and kids are down in Wales. I've got the week to myself in the house, which is quite nice actually for a little change. I do miss them already, but it meant that the night was peaceful and I got a full night's sleep. I'm going to take you through my morning routine. This is quite a typical morning in terms of the routine, but this morning I've also got Jiu-jitsu, so I will be fueling and getting ready for that. Let's check it out. Right, well this is going to plan. I thought there'd be some apple juice in the fridge. So usually, because the kids aren't here, I think Mrs. M hasn't bought me any apple juice. But because they're usually here, there's usually some juice in the fridge. And I usually have some apple juice, which is just a little bit thicker of a liquid, with, actually, some apple juice with my collagen. This has been super helpful, particularly with my elbows, tendons around my elbows. I've suffered over the years with tendinopathies from weightlifting and just all the gripping, and I've really found this has been helpful with just joint pain, easing that. So I usually have this first thing in the morning before jiu-jitsu or lifting weights. Best time to have it, probably 30 minutes before any activity requiring tendons. And then I get into my supplements. So, advanced multivitamin actually ran out yesterday, so I've got a brand new box, which is always exciting. Quite a few pills for the morning, but I find with things like taking supplements, particularly ones that you should take daily, it's important that you just remove and reduce the friction between taking them and not taking them. So building it into your morning routine, making it very easy. So first thing I do when I get downstairs is open the subs cupboard and get these out. They're always within arm's distance. 2 multivits, 2 omegas, 1 curcumin, 1 tribiotic, and 4 peak endurance. Now, timing of all of these things doesn't matter too much. I think the only one that could maybe move for me would be the omegas before bed. Liam's talked often about optimal timing for omegas, and there's some research to suggest it does help before bed. So you could take that along with the sleep along with the sleep product. But again, for me, it's about remembering. I've got the sleep product next to my bed, just so before I just get into bed, I take that. Having these downstairs in the cupboard just reminds me to take these. So that's it. They're the 5 I'm taking. Back on peak endurance. I've got a big bike ride coming up, doing lots of biking and starting to prep now for ATHEX. So that's in. A couple of sprays of vitamin D. And I'm going to bang this actually with some water because I don't have apple juice. I'm a veteran of the game now, taking these pills. Bosh. So, pills done. Next, we get a little bit of fuel in. So, I find 60 minutes of jiu-jitsu fairly comfortable on the workout fuel product. Some people might want to take on more food, more fuel, but because it's quite a dynamic session, I don't want too much on my stomach. I need something to make me feel like I've got some substance. And this is perfect for that. If it was anything longer, if I was doing something probably a little bit more consistent in jiu-jitsu, it's a one-to-one lesson, so it's sort of stop-start. You're learning a move, you're learning a drill, you're going through that drill, you're then practicing it. It's only really the last 20 minutes where we're sparring that you're kind of exerting maximal effort or somewhere near maximal effort for a sustained period of time. So this has worked very well for those types of sessions. I also find it works very well before a 60-minute strength session. But if I was going for a run, if I was doing anything longer, if I was going on a bike ride, I would be taking this, and I'll certainly be taking probably a crumpet or some toast and a banana. Now, why is this so good? You may ask. We talk about it very often, so let's dig into that. 3 main things that we'll bring to your attention. First and foremost, pre-workout carbohydrates. So in this, we've got 20 grams of carbohydrates, which isn't a huge amount, but it's fast-acting carbohydrates. And like I said, it gives you around 80 calories of energy.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Okay, thanks Alexa. Around 80 calories of energy, 20 grams of carbohydrates. So, like I say, anything sort of 45, 60 minutes long, anything beyond that, you might want to take on something else, but that's a good start. Carbohydrates in the system. Secondly, caffeine, just increasing that arousal, alertness, readiness to go and train. Many people will go and do a training session first thing in the morning purely on caffeine. So it gives you that initial, like I say, alertness and readiness and arousal, but it's not going to give you energy in the session. All right, you're not going to get energy from caffeine. You're going to need to add carbohydrates into that. So there's 2 ticks: carbohydrates, caffeine. Citrulline mannate for blood flow. Again, when we're thinking about maximizing performance, blood flow is going to be critically important. And the last thing, nootropics for that cognition, that cognitive function, that focus in your session. One thing I really find, if I go off workout fuel for a period of time and then jump back on it, the motivation to move through a session is just that little bit more dialed in. What I mean by that is going to get heavier weights if a set feels comfortable, looking forward to what's on the program in the next set thereafter, just slightly increasing that motivation to attack a session with more intent. And I think those 3 things really do make this a potent combination: caffeine, carbohydrates, and nootropics. Pretty unique products. I don't think there's many on the market. I think we were one of the first to combine those ingredients, particularly here in the UK. And this is something that myself and Liam stand by. And I'd probably suggest it's our best product. It's our best selling product. It's the one that most people use. And I think for anyone into hybrid training or training that's slightly more demanding, so we're not talking about that bodybuilding style, but slightly more demanding, you're combining elements of strength with elements where heart rate is being raised. This is going to be a brilliant supplement to add in. So 1 scoop of this into a shaker, about 500 mils of water, down the hatchet, and then it's going to be out the door. Okay. So a pretty simple morning routine in the house. Doesn't have to get complicated. Wake up, brush your teeth, have a shower if you need one, get the supplements in and get out of the house. Like most people, probably these days, training first thing in the morning is just much easier. Anywhere between 5:30 and 7 p.m. is usually my training window. It's usually my guaranteed training window. I sometimes can get a second session in during the day, as I will today at 11 o'clock, but there are many days where that just doesn't happen. So getting up, getting it done first thing is my preference. Many years ago, I used to get up even earlier, get my workout done even earlier, but as the kids are now getting older, they're staying up slightly later, I kind of match my bedtime routine with their bedtime routine. So I go to bed pretty much when they go to bed, and then I wake up before they wake up to get my training session in. And I'd usually get home if they're at home as they're waking up, and do breakfast and things with them before they go to school, which is actually quite nice for me because many people don't get to see their kids first thing in the morning, but that's always a nice little hour with them. And it means I've served myself first, got my session in. And that could be anything from my weight training to jiu-jitsu. On Wednesday it's a bike session, so my week is pretty varied, but usually 3 strength sessions, 2 jiu-jitsu sessions, and 2 bike sessions is probably my minimum. Really enjoying that combination, feeling good with it, able to recover well, feeling like I'm ticking most of the boxes, and most importantly, my jiu-jitsu is getting better, which is certainly my number 1 hobby, the number 1 thing I use my fitness for these days. Anyway, driving to jiu-jitsu, I'll get there just before 6 o'clock, and I'll try and get some clips of me on the mats.
So we're going to warm up there and then use the tools.
Oh, that was fun. Private lesson on a Tuesday morning, 1-to-1 with my coach. 6'3" Brazilian, 3-stripe black belt. The fucking calm-natured killer. But that's what you want. Humbling from time to time. I really enjoy it, to be honest. I feel like I'm getting marginally better week on week. The key is consistency, which this year I've found much better without all the running to get done. And then I'm in on Tuesday morning for a class, and then I'm gonna start to put Friday morning gi session back in, so hopefully up to 3 times a week. Get that balance between gi and no gi. Yeah, so 7 a.m, training's done. Gonna head home, shower up, and then down to breakfast, which is the usual routine, and then to the office by about 8:30. So I appreciate this is very elementary advice, but I still feel it's worth mentioning. Where possible, on days where I don't necessarily need a car, so I have a little bit more time to move between office, gym, meetings, back home, no after school kids clubs as the kids are away, I will walk to work, particularly in this gorgeous summer weather. Appreciate, again, for most people, getting your steps in is advice they've heard 100 times over, but I do think it's worth saying. If you can start your day 30 minutes earlier, finish it 30 minutes later, or just find pockets of time to walk, it's a big multiplier when it comes to staying in good shape, and also just having time to be out in nature. I spend the majority of my time these days in the office, which was never the plan in years gone by, but it's the way the cookie has crumbled. It's certainly necessary, so I find walking to and from work just a bit of time to get my head in the game, have some thoughts to myself, and also, like I say, just keep my steps up, which is important. We become naturally a little less mobile as we get older because life demands create it that way. Anyway, there's a little reminder for you. Walk more. So is breakfast. 1.5 scoops of Marchon whey, dates, banana, almond milk, and peanut butter. Found after Jiu-jitsu that had worked pretty hard, felt a little bit sick, didn't fancy eggs. So I've gone for this. I'll have a coffee shortly, and then off to the office. Yo! We're at the gym, home of gains. I'm about to get changed. We're going to be filming some hybrid collection, which is our new apparel, launching very soon. We'll be filming some bits and pieces in that, so I'm going to get changed very shortly. And then I've got these two boys with the professional cameras. So I'm going to sign off from here, and they're going to take over. Bash. Okay, so we're in the gym, just getting warm, limbering up. In the previous training block, I was exclusively on the train program, so Tuesdays was reserved for upper body. Now I'm moving to the new train block, which has changed its formation throughout the week. So we've got strength on Monday, we've got conditioning Tuesday, strength Wednesday, day off Thursday, conditioning Friday. So slightly different makeup for the week, which I'm actually really looking forward to. We've moved from a lower upper full body split to 3 full body training days. I think it's a really nice way to train, particularly when you've got 3 strength sessions a week. And I think my body's going to react nicely to the strength then conditioning, altering through the week. So that's the basis of my training with the train program. But I'm also starting to bake in a little bit of skiing and rowing because I've got an upcoming ATHEX in November in LA with George Heaton. So yesterday was full body from train, followed by a 25-minute run from ATHEX. Today is going to be the 20-minute ski from the ATHEX program with burpees every 5 minutes, and then the 25-minute row from yesterday that I missed from ATHEX. So the brand new feature on the training app where you can merge 2 programs is really coming in clutch now because I can start to merge those 2 programs together. Obviously, this is probably only for people who know what they're training for, know how to merge a program together in a way that's conducive, so there's not too much strength or conditioning volume in there and you can recover from it. Obviously, having been in the game for a long time, I know what I'm capable of and what I can manage, aligned to my goals. And so that merged program feature is really beneficial for someone like me. If you are someone that's just getting into hybrid training, I would just stick to one program, hybrid or train being the two that I would prioritize. And of course, if you're training for some of the ATHEX, jump on the ATHEX program. So that's where I'm at. Going to get stuck in now, 20-minute ski, every 5 minutes, 10 burpees. Going to try and move through a bit of an intensity. First time I skied since the 247 event. So yeah, demons are going to come back. Let's go. Part one done. As you can see, I'm repping the new hybrid collection. I've got the t-shirt on. Chad's got the tank. Really nice, washed mesh fabric. The goal with this collection was to support people in the gym, both running, lifting, but also create a capsule that people could wear outside the gym. I think this washed look just looks fucking cool. Something a little bit different from us, usual black, whites, greys. More of like a kind of blue, grey accent coming through this, which is really nice. And then we've got the marquee piece, which is a nice graphic, which I'm going to wear tomorrow for the strength, my lifting piece. But yeah, that was tough, man. 20-minute ski, kind of riding around a 7 out of 10, straight into 10 burpees every 5 minutes. I mean, I've not done couplets or conditioning pieces like this. It's always been just kind of long runs or more recently biking. So it's nice to get back into this kind of workout. Understand my pacing again, breathing, like technique on the burpees. Is it a step up? Is it a jump up? These are times where you start to drill those techniques. So when you get to competition, you're familiar with your tactics and what you want to go with. And the idea is that you kind of know that going into the competition. You know your cadence, you know your breathing, you know what speed you're going to hold. I'm going to get into the row now, so it's a 25-minute faster every 5 minutes. So looking to bring that speed up with every 5 minutes to go past. One of the other features that we wanted to bring into the app is just like people being able to, I guess, reflect at the end of a session, like how tough was it? We've got now a sliding scale that prompts you when you click workout complete, it prompts you to put in your effort level. So it doesn't mean you have to like mark everything as hard as that's like an accolade. It's actually like getting through the week, being able to reflect on what was a 7, what was an 8, what was a 9, how did you feel that day? Like some subjective markers to actually give you like a steer on like how hard that session should have been versus how hard you found it. Like, are you well rested? Are you well fueled? Just more data points coming in so you can be a little bit more self-guided into the workouts. There are some workouts that are meant to be tough, others are meant to be more routine. And that's just an extra little feature now that I think just helps give a bit of reflection to the end of a session. And you can look back across the week and see, like, if you're knackered come Saturday, Sunday, like, did you just hit every session too hard? That's not the goal of it, particularly in week 1 of a training phase, which we're in now. It's incrementally building week on week so that you get to your testing week as your best self. We pride ourselves on is if we're shooting content for any kind of launch, we make sure the training is authentic. It's never a staged shoot. In fact, 99 times out of 100, it's not a staged shoot. Sometimes you gotta make a little workout out just for the shot, but we try and dive into what's on the regular programming. Authentic content to how we train, authentic apparel to what we want to wear. And that's how we build the brand. Keep it real. That's a lie because I wouldn't usually wear a t-shirt, so that's the only bit I'm pretending on. My t-shirt would fully be off right now. Okay, so that's the end of the episode. I wanted to just give you a little bit of an insight into morning routine, which, to be honest, guys, it's just optimized for speed, getting done what I need to do, which is supplements in, fueling on board, get out the door. And then just like a typical morning of work and also training. Like I said, 5:30 to 7 a.m. is my golden time to train. I'm lucky if I get a quick 40-minute session at 11 o'clock, which I've done today. So it's a nice little double day for me today. So yeah, that's basically it. I didn't really show you much of the office because some of it's sensitive and some of it, to be honest, is quite boring. But anyway, please like, subscribe, comment on this. We will pick 3 lucky winners to win 3 months supply of fuel bars. I've actually ate 2 before the session. 200 calories, 30 grams of carbohydrate, oat-based bar, gluten-free, fantastic for that energy. Spoke about that this morning with the carbohydrates and workout fuel. Fuel bars, another great addition to your supplement stack. Great use of it as like a snack. So yeah, 3 boxes to 3 lucky people. Drop a comment below if you like this style. I'm trying to bring a bit of variety to the channel. So yeah, peace and love.